Good afternoon guys, Adam here at Board at Home. In today's Jumping Let's Play we are taking a look at Holmes, Sherlock and Mycroft. So this is a two-player game where each player takes on the role of the Holmes brothers as they're competing to solve the case, gather the most clues to prove their side of the case. We do this by visiting different characters throughout the game and collecting these clues along here. And we have these clue tokens and these meeples that allow us to do so. Once we've spent our three meeples each turn, we turn over the top cards of the character deck onto the next day. Once day 7 is done, the game is over. We round up the scores and find out who is the winner. So, we've got three characters along the top here, Watson, Lestrade and Hudson. These characters always start the game here. These are what they call permanent characters, and to differentiate them they are double-sided, unlike these cards here. When you place your meeple on one of these, you place them on its side like that, and that allows you to perform the action on there. So for example here, Watson will allow us to exchange one of our clue tokens for a face-up card. Lestrade will allow us to exchange 3 of them for 2 face-up cards. And Hudson here allows us to replenish 3 clue tokens. And then we have other characters that we meet throughout the game that have other actions. We start the game on day 1 with 2 characters here. This is randomised, so it won't always be the same 2 characters. And these have other actions that we can perform. Down here we have our supply of clue tokens that we can take from throughout the game. Here is our deck of clues, and then we start with 4 face-up clues next to it. And then below we've got our player pools of meeples and clue tokens. Right, so let's get into the game and show you a few rounds of this. So, as I said, we place our meeple on its side to use that action. So let's start with Orange. He's going to go on Dr. Watson. Easy enough, trade in a clue token and take a clue card. When we take that clue card, that goes next to us, and then we keep them in a neat, orderly fashion so everyone can see how many of each you have. And then we replenish the cards as such. And then we move to blue. So blue's going to go to Lestrade. 1, 2, 3. He's going to get rid of 3. He's going to take this one here. And just to explain the numbers, so this one has an 8, this one had a 7. So this is the amount of these cards that are in this deck. At the end of the game, you score this number minus the amount that your opponent may have. So this one, for example, we have 8 in the deck in total. If the blue player was to get 6 of them, and say the orange player got 2, then we would score 6 points, the 8 minus the 2 that they have. So he takes that, and then he gets to take another card, so he's going to take the other one that's just appeared. Okay, so Orange's turn. He's going to go here. This allows him to take a face-up card, which he will take the 9 here. This then goes to one side there, and that gets replenished. With this card, if you can see there, the symbol along the bottom means that the active player can take a card, and then the other player, if they so choose, can spend one of these to take a face down card from the top of the deck. So that is what blue will do. He'll take that, and we've got a map there. So the map tokens, the map cards, when you collect these, you actually need to get as many of them as possible to score points. So the one by itself is going to be useless. It's actually going to be scoring -1 point. And then as you go up, you can see that you score more. So if we got 5, then we would score 10 points for that. So that's something that he might be chasing. So, blue's going to go here, and he is actually going to spend his last token, clue token, to take that map piece. So now at least he's going to score a minimum of 1 point so far. He is also out of clues, so he won't be able to spend clues to get anything at the moment. And then orange is going to go on Mrs. Hudson, gain 3 of these back. 1, 2, 3. And then blue is actually going to do the same as well. 1, 2, 3. So it has a supply still. So with these, as I said, these ones are double-sided, so these don't get exhausted. But had both of them been on Toby, for example, and you can only have one of each colour on any character, if they'd both been on Toby, or if he had gone and used Von Cram, for example, then what we would have done is that we would turn those face down, and then that card would have been exhausted for the next round, meaning we would not be able to use it. But it hasn't, so he stays face up. Everyone is available for the next game. So we've used all of our meeples. They all stand up on the location they are on, so they stay there now. We turn over the top cards of the character deck, add that here, and then we're now on day 2, which represents our second round of the game. So here, this one, we can see we have got Irene Adler. So Irene Adler allows us to use the number of the day of the week to pay as many investigation markers, which are these clue tokens here, and get 1 visible clue from the play area of your opponent to add to your pile of hidden clues. And you can't take a wild card or any hidden card. So this would allow us at the moment, because we're day 2, to spend 2 of these, if we wanted, to take one of our opponent's face-up cards, so either one of the 8s or the maps, take that and add it face down to our side of the game. So, orange is starting, and let's see what we want to do. So say orange goes here, so this one here, Toby, gives us an amount of clue tokens for the amount of different types we've got. So we've only got 2, so we get 2 of those, but that can go up as we go throughout the game. Okay, so let's say blue here does go here, and it's going to spend 2 of those tokens. It's going to take the 9, and it's going to add it face down to their side of the board. So orange has lost one of their cards, blue's taken 1. Okay, so orange is going to go to Lestrade. It's got a lot of tokens, so it's going to spend 1, 2, 3 of those, and it's going to take 2. So let's go for the 8, because they're not too far ahead of us at the moment. There we go, let's take that 9 as well. So we've got quite a variety of cards that we can get set up. Okay, so our blue is going to go here. This allows us to take a face-up card. He's going to take this one. This is a wild card, so you can add 1 wild card to a set of other clues. You can't add them to your maps. You don't have to assign it straight away. You can save it for something else later. But for ease of the game, he's going to assign this one to the 8 for now, because he sees that his opponent is starting to collect 8. So this keeps him 1 step ahead. So, as part of Von Cram's, the opponent, which is orange, can spend 1 clue to take a face down. He's going to do that. He's got plenty to spare. He's going to take this clue, That's an 8, so that sits off to one side face down. We can add that to our other 8 at the end of the game. So we have got 1 left for orange. That's going to go over to Watson. He's going to spend a clue. He's going to take a card. Let's go for the wild as well. He's not going to assign that for the moment, so that would just sit off to one side. And then we replenish that. And then finally we've got blue. He's going to go to Mrs. Hudson and take some tokens back. That's the end of the second round. We turn them all upright again. We turn over the next cards, introducing a new character on a new day, ready for questioning. And we continue that for 7 rounds, and at the end we count up the amount of our cards, see who's got the most in that type. They score the points, so for example 7 points here, minus any that the opponent may have. That's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you do have any questions about this game, don't hesitate to call us, message, or pop into the shop. We'll be happy to help you out. And as always, happy gaming. We'll see you in the boardroom.